Now let's talk about a power of attorney and buying land in Lagos. I want to clear up something a lot of diaspora investors get wrong, and it's not a small misunderstanding. Many people think that a power of attorney is basically the finish line. You find someone you trust back home and you sign the document, and now the whole transaction is handled while you get on with your life abroad. Well, that's not quite what a power of attorney does, and the gap between what people assume and what it actually covers is where a lot of diaspora property trouble begins. Let's start with what it actually is. A power of attorney is simply a legal document authorizing someone to act on your behalf, attending inspections, collecting documents, liaising with lawyers and government offices, signing clearly identified paperwork. It can be broad or it can be tightly restricted, and for almost every property transaction I've seen work out well, restricted was a safer choice. Here is the part people miss most often. If a power of attorney does not prove anything about the land itself, it doesn't prove the seller actually owns it, it doesn't prove that the title is genuine, it doesn't confirm there is no competing claim, no government acquisition sitting quietly over that plot, no missing approval that makes the whole transaction shakier than it looks. Someone waving a power of attorney at you is not the same as someone proving the property is safe to buy. That verification still has to happen, completely separately, no matter how official that document looks. Now, the biggest risk I want you to really sit with is this. It's not appointing someone you trust. It's giving one person control over everything at once. Think about what that actually looks like. The same person finds the property, negotiates the price, recommends the lawyer, tells you that the title is fine, receives your money, signs on your behalf, and then reports back that everything is satisfactory. When one individual holds every single one of these roles, every check and balance that's supposed to protect you quietly disappears. That's not a comment on anyone's honesty. It's simply what happens structurally when nobody independent is looking over the transaction at any stage. The fix is to separate those roles deliberately. Let your trusted representative coordinate locally, be your eyes and your presence on ground, but bring in an independent lawyer to verify the title and prepare documents. Bring in a registered estate surveyor and valuer to assess the property and confirm its value and location. And make sure every major decision and every payment gets your written approval before it happens, not after. When you do draft the power of attorney itself, resist the urge to grab a generic template online. It needs to be specific to the property and that purpose, naming exactly what your representative can do and, just as importantly, what they can't do. Can they sign documents? Can they receive or move money? For how long does their authority even last? And how can you revoke it if you need to? That last point on money deserves its own moment, because this is where things go wrongly quietly and expensively. Your representative should never have automatic power to change their agreed price, receive funds into a personal account, approve extra charges, pay themselves, or complete a transaction without your written sign-off. Every payment should be traceable with receipts and instructions behind it. And if someone tells you the opportunity is too urgent to wait for proper checks, treat that urgency itself as the warning sign it usually is. A genuine deal survives being investigated properly. On the land itself, independent verification still has to happen. The seller's actual route of the title, the survey plan against physical condition, whether the land sits inside a government acquisition zone, any disputes, mortgages, or family claims attached to it. A photo, a receipt, a family recommendation, or a power of attorney is not a substitute for that search, and whoever conducts it needs to be working for you, not quietly aligned to the seller or the agent. One more thing worth knowing: some power of attorneys can be revoked simply. Others, especially ones tied to a financial or proprietary interest, can be far harder to undo than people expect. Don't assume a text message canceling it ends your representative's authority, especially if they've already signed something or received money on your behalf. Get your lawyer to explain exactly how revocation works before you ever sign the original document, not after you need it. Here's the perspective I keep coming back to on this. The problem was never really about appointing someone you trust. The problem is handling the person on limited authority with no boundaries, no independent verification, and no professional accountability sitting alongside it. Your representative should know exactly what they're authorized to do. Your lawyer should act independently of them. Your payments should stay traceable. Your approvals should be documented, and your property should be verified before your money moves, not after. You don't have to be physically present in Lagos or Nigeria to remain professionally in control of your transaction. A power of attorney is a legal tool you design carefully. It was never meant to be a permission for someone else to make uncontrolled decisions with your money and your property. Trust wisely, verify independently, document everything. Now, this video is based on general information and does not constitute legal advice. Always consult a qualified Nigerian practitioner before entering a property transaction. For more insightful and informative content, do visit my website, JermaineSanwo-Olu.com.